Twilight 2000, Adventure Handout, Escape from Kalitz, Death of a Division.
I'm going to need to bring some of this home then.
That's why I brought it home.
I know, but I'm going to have to bring it home again because I didn't realize I had 10 times the amount of money I have. To buy better stuff.
The United States 5th Infantry Division Mechanized jumped off on its raid on June 19th from Chosnes and Zulklachau in a converging drive on the Bydgoszcz and Torun area. Contact was made with partisans of the 2nd Polish Free Legion in Tuchola, and they reported the road ahead clear. Guides were provided, and on the 21st, advanced elements of the division had reached Torun, with follow-up forces closing up. Only scattered resistance from some local militia had been encountered. The division spent a week in the Torun area distilling fuel in anticipation of the second bound. On June 29th, it moved out south on the road to Włocławek, which the division's recon battalion, remember W's or V's and such, so it looked like Włocławek, which the division's recon battalion, 4th Squadron of the 12th Cavalry, mounted on horseback, had scouted as far south as Krasnowitz. The division closed up on Włocławek by the evening of June 30th, and advanced elements were in the strategic road junction of Krasnowitz by July 1st. The division again paused for maintenance and fuel distillation while the cavalry scouted south. On July 3rd, the 412 Cavalry reported a strong blocking position in front of Lodz at the town of Zgierz. Interrogation of prisoners revealed the blocking force to be the Polish 6th Border Guard Brigade. The division commander ordered the division's 256 Mechanized Brigade, Louisiana National Guard, to deploy against the blocking position, while the 412 Cavalry made a wide turning movement through Kolo, Unizhov, Zadel, and Lotsk to hit Lodz from the southwest. The division's 1st Brigade consolidated the division base camp area at Krasnowitz, while the division's 2nd Brigade was pushed west toward Konin to guard against a possible counterattack by the 1st Polish Tank Army, known to be in the Poznan area. July 9th. The 412 Cavalry reported by radio that it encountered Polish cavalry in superior strength at the town of Pabiance, a few kilometers south of Lodz, and that it was falling back to Lask. Later, outposts of the 2nd Brigade guarding the road bridge across the Warta River at Konin successfully resisted an attack by mechanized troops identified as elements of the Polish 10th Tank Division. The Polish troops withdrew, but could be seen digging in several kilometers from the bridge. July 10th. The division commander ordered the 311 Infantry of the 1st Brigade, then in Kutno, to move out east toward Lowitz to develop an attack from the northeast against Lodz. At the same time, he ordered 256 Brigade at Ozokov to detach a battalion and move it overland south to Unizhov in preparation to support the 412 Cavalry. Almost immediately, the 311 Infantry from Kutno encountered advancing mounted troops in superior numbers and was driven back to Kutno under heavy pressure. By evening, 311 Infantry had determined that it was facing the advanced elements of the Soviet 89th Cavalry Division, formerly 89th Motorized Rifle Division, which had last been identified as being deep in Byelorussia. 412 Cavalry had identified its antagonist as the Polish 11th Border Guard Brigade, formerly at Lublin. July 11th. German Third Army reported by radio that it was under attack by strong cavalry and mechanized forces from the Pila area, and had identified elements of the 1st Polish Tank Army. It also reported the Torun area had been overrun by elements of the Soviet 22nd Cavalry Army from Byelorussia. The division commander held an afternoon conference with his brigade commanders and staff and decided the division should attempt to break out through Lodz and then drive east through the Piotrków and Radom to be positioned for a drive north. This would avoid the major enemy troop concentrations, cause maximum damage to the lines of communication of the newly committed 22nd Cavalry Army, and leave the door open for a possible link-up with troops in the northern Baltic coast. Accordingly, 256 Brigade began shifting southwest toward Sadel, while a 1st Brigade took over the position at Ozerkov. July 12th and 13th. Little enemy resistance was encountered, and all units successfully completed their planned movements. July 14th. The 1st and 256 Brigades began their attacks on Lodz, and immediately encountered stronger resistance than had been anticipated. The right-hand attack by 256 Brigade along the Lask-Pabiansk road brushed aside outlying cavalry pickets, but then encountered entrenched and well-equipped infantry in front of Pabiansk. After several of the brigade's remaining tanks and infantry fighting vehicles had been knocked out, the brigade paused to regroup. Within an hour, however, the brigade was struck in the flank by tanks and armored personnel carriers advancing from Piotrkov and was pushed back to Lodz. 1st Brigade's attack had encountered dug-in tanks of the Soviet 20th Tank Division as soon as it crossed its start line and had made no progress all day. The 20th Tank Division had last been reported in the Ukraine as an element of the 4th Guards Tank Army. At midday, the 2nd Brigade's 377 armored at Kolo was probed by Polish mechanized forces, and the division rearguard of Krasnovich came under attack by the Soviet 96th Cavalry Division. By nightfall, it was apparent that there had either been a major intelligence failure or the Warsaw Pact had succeeded in moving up reserve formations with more speed than anyone had anticipated. It was also clear that, rather than making headway toward a breakout, the 5th Division was badly scattered and hard-pressed on all fronts. The division commander decided that it was time to concentrate and attempt to get room to maneuver. The division would move west toward Kalitz. 2nd Brigade would remain roughly in place, with the 377 armored holding Kolo as a bridgehead across the Warta River. 1st Brigade and the division command would move overland to Unajov. A battalion would hold the river crossing while the main body moved into reserve across the river. 256 Brigade was to fall back along the road to Sirats and hold the Warta River crossing there. July 15th. In the morning, the 1st Brigade began its withdrawal, but was hit by the Soviet 20th Tank Division while moving across open ground to Unajov. By afternoon, over a dozen Soviet tanks were burning, and the 20th Tank Division had been driven back, badly mauled. 211 Infantry, however, had been overrun at Kutno. A badly depleted brigade limped in to Unajov by nightfall, only to find the bridge across the Warta blown. The 7th Engineer Battalion began rebuilding the bridge by torchlight with what local materials it could find. 256 Brigade's main body remained in Lotsk all day due to lack of fuel, but 412 Cavalry moved back and secured Sirats and the Warta River Bridge there. 1st Brigade, with the 3143 Infantry at Konin and the 377 Armored at Kolo, sent its remaining battalion, 140 Armored, south to Kalitz to secure the division rear area. July 16th. The division's situation began deteriorating rapidly. 256 Brigade at Lodz was hit hard from the east and northeast by strong mechanized forces, and the brigade headquarters was overrun. Still short of fuel, most of the brigade's tanks fought and died in place, and surviving personnel broke out on foot into the woods and to the southwest. The attacking force was identified as the Soviet 124th Motorized Rifle Division, another component of the 4th Guards Tank Army. At the same time that the 256 Brigade was being overrun, advanced elements of the Soviet 21st Motorized Rifle Division appeared behind 412 Cavalry's positions at Sirats, having approached on the road from Zlokzu. This was yet another division of the 4th Guards Tank Army. 412 Cavalry, by now reduced to only 200 troopers, withdrew up the road to Kalitz. By late afternoon, the 140 Armored of the 1st Brigade at Kalitz was pushing back infantry probes from the direction of Plezu to the west and Ostrov to the southwest. The bridge at Unajov was completed by late morning, and 1st Brigade began bringing across its heavy equipment. Polish cavalry from the west was cautiously probing 1st Brigade's positions at the crossing point. That evening, the division commander ordered all elements of the division to blow the Warta River bridges and concentrate at Kalitz. While this was possible at Konin, Kolo, and Unajov, the bridge at Sirats had already fallen, and the 21st Motor Rifle Division had crossed further south at Velun in any event. July 17th. By daybreak, the pressure on 140 armored, by now joined by the remnants of 412 cavalry, was mounting. Polish infantry from Plzew was now being joined by light armored vehicles believed to be from the 10th Polish Tank Division. The infantry at Ostrov had been identified as elements of the Soviet 12th Guards Tank Division, a weak formation which had been in reserve near Legnica. However, it was now being joined by mechanized vehicles believed to belong to 21st Motorized Rifle Division. At midday, advanced pickets of the 412 Cavalry reported a large mechanized column advancing up the road from Sirats towards Kalitz. 140 armored was beginning to strain under the pressure from the west and southwest and couldn't spare any troops for the new threat. Advanced elements of the 1st Brigade were approaching from the north, however, and the remaining 10 M1E2s of 370 armor turned south off the road between Kalitz and Turek and advanced overland to take the Soviet column in the flank. 221 Field Artillery pulled its 6 howitzers off the road behind them and set up to deliver supporting fires. 310 Infantry, mostly in trucks, would follow up to support the tanks. 370 armor reached a position 2 kilometers north of the road at 1100 hours with nothing left in its fuel tanks but fumes. Taking up defilade positions atop a low rise, the battalion commander saw the main body of the Soviet 124th Motor Rifle Division stretched out on the road below him. At 11:10 hours, the battalion opened fire and immediately began registering hits along the length of the column. Soon the column was covered in dense black smoke from burning vehicles, through which the tankers could see numerous secondary explosions as ammo vehicles went up. By 12:20 hours, the Soviets were counterattacking, but several attempts to storm the position by tanks and armored personnel carriers were broken up, and the 2,000 meters of open ground between 370 armored's position and the road became littered with the wrecks of most of the Soviet division's remaining armor. A late afternoon attempt to outflank the position was thwarted by the arrival of 310 infantry. As night fell, the division commander took stock of the situation. 1st Brigade, with 370 armored and 310 infantry, was on the left, overlooking the Sirats Road. 412 cavalry and 140 armored were holding Kalitz. 143 infantry of 2nd Brigade was in the woods north of Kalitz on the road to Konin, guarding the division's right, while 2nd Brigade's 377 armored formed a small division reserve just behind Kalitz. 319 Field Artillery was deployed with 377 armored, while 221 Field Artillery was still several kilometers to the northeast, along with most of the division's supply and maintenance echelon. The Soviet 124th Motor Rifle Division had been shattered on the Sirats Road, but pressure was building from the Soviet 21st Motor Rifle Division at Ostrov and the Polish 10th Tank Division at Plzew. Rearguard parties were reporting increased activity along the Warta River line behind the division, and the remnants of the Soviet 20th Tank Division were still out there, somewhere. The division commander decided on a breakout to the south, exploiting the damage 1st Brigade had handed to the 124th Motor Rifles the day before. The division's emergency fuel reserves would be dispersed to the units. Everyone would top off and draw as many rations and as much ammo as they could carry. Supply and maintenance parties would split up and attach themselves to the nearest combat unit and follow them out. 2nd Brigade would spearhead with the 377 armored and 3143 infantry, moved down by night from the north, driving south by southeast from behind Kalitz. 1st Brigade would cover its left flank with a drive south from its blocking position. The division artillery would put every available round on Ostrov to break up any potential attack from the 21st Motor Rifles. 412 cavalry would follow up the 2nd Brigade and work its way into the woods between Ostrov and Ostrozov to cover the right flank. 140 armored would hold Kalitz until the remaining elements of the division had moved south and then fight a delaying action against pursuit. Considering the odds, the chances of success were slim, but it was the only show in town. As it happened, the 21st Motorized Rifle Division and Polish Tank Division struck first. The attack came in hard 3 hours before dawn, using infrared lights. 161 Infantry had already pulled out of its blocking position north of Kalitz and was in road march passing through the crossroads when the first artillery rounds began falling on the town. 140 armored, holding the perimeter, had the advantage of being in place, and its thermal sights were less affected by the smoke that soon covered everything than were the Soviet IR lights. But 10th Polish Tanks Division attack hit empty positions, and within an hour they were behind Kalitz in the division rear. Shortly before sunup, Polish armored vehicles entered the division headquarters area. The division commander radioed in the clear to all units. Good luck. You're on your own now. July 18th, 3:30 a.m. And that's where we start.
So we were in Kalitz, and Kalitz got to overrun.
Yep,
Okay.
from behind. You're basically surrounded on all fronts except forward. And there are forces forward, but the heavy forces are on both flanks and your rear. You're completely, like it's a U shape, and the only reason there's anything to the south is because your people had started to plan a breakthrough. There are forces to the south, that's the weakest area. And that's where everybody's told to break through. Now, you can go any direction you want, because there could be holes in any direction. You never know. Mm-hmm. But your command, the base got overrun from behind. So that's, from you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. You got to flee right away.
The bridge by Conan is still busted, right? Over by the ward.
Yep. Yep. The bridge by Conan, the bridge by Kolo, and the bridge by Unajev are all blown.
But the one by Sirad's is, or did that one
as
already
far
fall?
as you know, Sirat's is okay. It may be held by the enemy, though.
Okay.
Same thing with the one south of Kolo, just north of Turek.
Oh, right, in between
yeah.
Unajab.
But again, that may be held by the enemy. You don't know.
And there's a bridge west of Kuning.
Yeah, that's true.
But he said the south.
Yeah, there is a bridge west of Conan as well. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh boy.
But they're suggesting that we head south.
And then there's also a bridge down by Velon, clear down south.
Oh, yeah.
So south from, does that mean towards Ostrov or to Sirad's? Which one of those is south? Probably.
Okay, north is up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
South is down, right is east, left is west.
So tell me, Ostrov is the south one then? Because none of them are directly south.
Ostrov is southwest. Is
Okay.
that road southwest from you?
Yeah, but Ostrov was already overrun.
Yeah, I think that stemmed from
Let's see. Here's my combat chart.
Because you said that south was the spot that had the weakest opening.
You due south across the countryside.
Okay.
No,
So
okay, the
not
countryside,
following the
not
road.
countryside.
road.
Yeah,
Okay.
the roads are usually heavily littered
Yeah,
They
makes
went out
sense.
to
because of the convoys. Yeah.
I presume the basically non-water kind of textures are the wooded areas. The kind of like speckled blobs.
What's that? Those are all, the speckled stuff blobs are woods. Those are all forest.
Oh, okay.
So it is not unusual if people want to flee to the woods for cover, because at least you won't be in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
The rest in between is mostly just open countryside. Might be some farmland, what have you, but it's basically open countryside.
And what's the brown on this map?
Oh, on that's mountains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, green is forest. You don't have access to that map. Give me that.
Oh.
That was just for that. You have to have an officer to have that.
Oh.
Yeah. This is all you have is this situation map. For now.
Okay.
That can change.
Okay.
Looting bodies, getting officers, things like that.
The road that extends directly out of Palace is unoccupied, or quote unquote unoccupied though, right? Or was that already overrun?
Which one?
The road like directly north, stemming out of.
As far as you know, the road between Kalitz and Conan let's see, the invade. Well, you've been overrun from the rear.
Right. So like Ostrov and like probably Pledge is probably occupied, but so that road from Conan and
so between Kalitz and Turek is 310 armored, 39. Yeah. So armored would hold Kalitz, remain on. My first most roger Polo tank struck first. Attack came in hard turns, not easy for Red. Okay. Infantry had pulled out of its block position north of Collis. Okay. So the 161 infantry had pulled out of its blocking position north of Collis and was in road march passing through the crossroads when artillery rounds began to rain on them. So the north is being overrun.
got it. Okay.
Yeah, because they came from the
that's
the
right.
north.
They're the ones that probably busted up the
Yeah,
bridge.
that's what came up from behind and everything.
Gotcha.
So all of that is being overrun.
Oh boy. All right.
Yeah, the only area that there aren't active forces is kind of south by southeast across the countryside.
Okay.
Everything else, it's a big U. It's almost not quite a. It's smaller than a U. Like a U would just be this.
Right.
It's more like almost a CU combo. There's not a whole lot of option. Now again, you can stride it because with all the smoke and everything, and infrared and all that, you never know where there might be a hole.
Right.
So you can try any direction you want. But currently, last you knew of, without an officer, south by southeast is your most open direction.
Gotcha.
That doesn't mean zero. That just means the most open.
And so, do we know what's going on in Ostrov?
Ostrozov? Nope.
No, not Ostrov, but the one below.
Not Ostrov, but Ostrozov.
Yeah, do we know about that one?
You don't know what the situation is. You
Oh,
don't have an officer
no,
to give
okay.
you the latest. And even then, a lot of their data is always behind. They've been wrong multiple times. That's part of why they're in so much trouble. The intelligence failure is big time. You don't have the use of satellites and all of that to help.
Oh boy.
Doesn't mean there aren't satellites still up there.
Right.
Just most people are lacking the equipment to make use of them.
Especially now, we're all
Yeah.
scattered.
Yeah, exactly.
How many panels does our Humvee have?
Oh,
Got it.
yeah.
We'll show
okay,
him all
let's
the
see.
zeros.
1, 2,
Each
3,
zero
4,
you have to put a
5,
panel
6,
in.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We have 19 openings.
19 panels.
Yes, and I have money I was planning on putting in there too. And so you say it only gives us a 10% bonus for
10 points. I'd have to double check that.
Okay.
I forget.
Can we stack them?
Yes, but remember you're adding vehicle weight,
Yes.
and
20
you're
panels
reducing
almost.
storage capacity.
Just 20 panels in one specific area.
Just hope they hit
In
They
front
only-
of in front of me.
And then we draw a target on there so we always shoot there. It's brilliant.
Yes, brilliant. Absolutely.
Done it.
brilliant.
We solved all our problems.
Go for it. See what happens.
Put on the
Can
one
I ask
side
what
so it's
TS's and vehicle damage location?
Turret side, but that doesn't exist because you don't have a turret.
Yeah, I was
That's
wondering
why
why it
it's
has
not
a
applicable.
not available. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So 18 panels.
18 panels.
Okay. One
Okay.
less panel to worry about.
Yay.
Where did you find the vehicle panel armor?
It was written in.
It was written in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I believe it just gives you 10 armor because that's what standard Kevlar jacket is. Oh, there it is, yeah. Vehicular. Oh, it says 10. It says in parentheses 10. It weighs 4 kilograms per panel.
Only kill. Oh, that's.
It's
okay,
fairly
so
light.
18 times, let's say 10.
So if I
that's
exhaust,
180
if I exhaust all my money, I am $1 short of getting 11 panels.
You guys are welcome to pool your money if you need to.
I think we might
have
want
no problem
I haven't
with that.
purchased anything
Because
yet.
the money is
And that's
virtual,
only-
it represents what you've been issued.
Right.
And that's only
So-
half of our internal load we can carry. So, and we'll be maxed out on every single panel. It'll be perfect.
So yeah,
We still have some. I mean, an armor makes, even though it's only 10 points, for weapons that. So if you look at weapon damage,
Is
you'll say
there-
like ×4 or ×2.
Is there a maximum on that?
Maximum that you could put on the panels?
Yeah.
No, I don't really. If you want to stack them,
So,
we'll stack
so
them.
we
I
can
don't
put
care.
10 of them to get 100.
Well, okay. No.
Dang it! There's 100%
It
chance of it not
depends. If
working.
you want to put 10 on the hood,
Uh-huh.
sure, go for it.
We
I
can't
could
put-
see that happening.
We can't put 10 every single spot.
It's going to be a problem, just as far as space.
Ah,
If you're going to stack 10 on the outside of your door, how are you
don't
going to
know
open your
thick they
door?
are.
Again, if you can,
No, we
if you
put
can give me
five
an
outside,
argument,
five
if
inside.
you do 4 or 5, that's theoretically doable.
Okay.
10's going to be a problem because you figure each one's going to be about that thick.
Okay, that's
So-
all. It's
I know
that's only like 10 inches.
I found a way to squeeze a bit more money out of me.
I'm pretty generous about improvising what you want. So.
Can't see out the window with our hood.
Because keep in mind, none of it'll matter if you get hit with a tank fire or artillery fire.
You sure? Are you
Because
sure?
it just flips the vehicle and blows the whole vehicle.
But if we have
So-
100% on everything, there's no way it could damage.
It's not
it.
percent. It's
Oh.
not percent. Those are points.
Oh,
It's-
so we
those
can
are
get
hit
more
points.
than 10.
Those are hit points.
So we can get more than 10.
Oh yeah, you can
So
get
we-
more than 100. You can have 200.
Okay.
You can have
We
300.
can have 200.
I've just purchased 11 panels.
Oh,
Did you,
Okay.
Did you buy anything else though, like for your actual person?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
no, that's it.
Yes.
Well, I was
Okay,
gonna say, 'cause
wait,
you
how
can,
much do
like,
they cost each?
So that'll give you.
800.
So where it says 0, you
Oh.
can make it a 10.
Okay, wait. 24,000 minus 2,400. If I can buy how many?
But
800?
yeah, that will reduce your
By
carrying
800.
capacity.
Okay, I can buy 27.
Let's just fill up each slot once.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you're
But-
buying
Because
11,
armor does make a huge difference, even with just 10 points.
Yeah.
Because there's a multiplier for weapons here. So some weapons are really good against armor. And so if it just has a line through it, all the energy goes through.
Yeah.
But a lot of weapons say ×2 or ×4. That means basically the armor has ×2 or ×4 its normal value. So it subtracts 20 or 40 points from the energy
So
of
if
the
you
bullet
buy
or
11 and I buy
explosion.
7, then we can fill in everyone there.
And generally armor saves you from almost all indirect, like if it's exploding around you, it pretty much saves you.
By the way,
It's only direct hits
also,
that are a problem. then.
I made sure that I added, because I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to buy the armor, I wanted to make sure I had this as well. Add the 5 by 25 kilometer man pack vehicle pack to the Hummer. We
don't-
now have a radio.
I don't know where I put that.
And for example, grenades have like a ×20, so they're not very good against armor, right? Even just 10 points of armor, odds are the grenade's not going to get through it.
What you have to do is you have to throw the
You have a
grenades
toss grenade
inside.
yes, then you're toast.
Then we're-
Then
what if we
everybody's
go-
toast
What if we
inside.
put armor inside that?
Yeah.
No, then
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, as I said, so for weapons, a lot of
So-
weapons do not penetrate armor.
write it in cargo.
Okay.
We have a 5/25 kilometer man pack / vehicle pack radio.
No, just put vehicle back.
Yeah. And I had to sell one of my 2 kilometer hand radios, but I still have one.
Okay, that's probably my one.
So here's hoping your vehicle doesn't get blown up after putting everything into it.
Yeah.
You just never know.
I still have all my cash, so we
That's
can.
good.
I can
Yep,
pull
pull
some
re-
to
yeah.
you guys too to get your.
Just make darn certain you have all your basics of lots of food, water, body armor.
I made sure
you
that I
have
had
your own body armor.
Right.
I'm
Lots and lots of ammo. Grenades are good if you have TW as a skill, thrown weapon. Grenades are great to have.
Can we
Also, if you have indirect fire, Ryan,
Yes.
max that out and get rifle grenades. So rifle grenades, you make sure you get the right gun, but like an M16 or something, you stick them in the barrel, and if you look at me, Ryan, you can either fire them indirect fire up and over, or direct fire.
Don't they normally have like a second?
That's a grenade launcher.
Oh, okay.
That's an M203 grenade launcher. You put one in and boom.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So M16s and stuff are highly customizable.
Can we
You
use
can
vehicle?
strap on a bunch of stuff. Laser designator. Look at laser designators, everybody. That can add plus 40 to your hit.
Ooh. Can we use vehicle
much is
panels
laser?
as armor?
I think they're
We just carry
1,000.
them around.
What's that?
Can we use vehicle panels as armor?
running around with a shield.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Not like holding like this, but you could put it on something and use it like a
Yeah, and
combat
then once one
shield.
throws a grenade, you just jump on it.
Okay, because you said the laser designator. My sniper rifle already comes with a
Starlight scope,
no with
laser designator, or just a scope?
just a scope.
Something.
Yeah.
I have the British one, the L40.
Okay.
Can I still have the scope on top of that, the laser designator?
Oh yeah. Well, you'd put it below it or something. You
Okay.
just go on below. Yeah, they're you can usually you put a laser designator on anything,
Okay.
including artillery and stuff too. You've got sight. Those are rangefinders. So those are a little different. But anyway.
Okay, in that case,
By the way, if anybody has med, you might want to have a doctor's medical kit
I have about this much.
and
time.
or surgical instruments. You also might want to consider blood plasma or whole blood or whatever. And painkillers are good.
by the way,
Antibiotics are really good.
I went from 11 to 9.
Okay, I
Because-
can put 9 in.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We basically split it in half.
IR goggles are very handy for night fighting. Infrared goggles, really handy.
930. Ooh. I should
Okay, so a man portable laser designator is $1,000, weighs 3 kilograms. Runs on batteries.
I got a portable, what is it? Coincidence?
A what?
The rangefinder?
Okay.
The portable, it's called the Coincidence?
Coincidence.
Coincidence.
rangefinder. Yeah, that lets you read out the distance to designated object. So that's helpful for indirect fire especially, as well as large caliber gun. Yeah. It's not helpful for the grenade launcher,
Right.
but if you have a mortar or artillery or
Oh,
a tank, you read the coordinates. You go this degrees by this degrees. That's how you get those numbers. That's how those help out.
I thought that was for sniper rifling.
No, those no.
No. In that case, I'm probably going to be selling that.
Yeah, no. You if you wanted to do that, that would be. Well, no, I guess the smaller portable one. Yeah, no, you could do that because snipers do that too. They read out. They usually have a 2-man team, and they read out the distance and degrees and all that, and that would give you that information. That's how they get that info.
Okay, so it wasn't a waste.
No,
Because
it's not a waste.
the plan that I have is worst case scenario. If I'm the last one running, I'm building my guy to be the guy who's like, I cover up in grass, and I spend a week.
There is a ghillie suit in there somewhere.
I didn't see it.
It might be in the extended equipment list, so
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
but you know the plan is if I have to, I have foraging,
Okay.
I have recon.
Good, good.
Plan is if I have to spend, 2 weeks traveling 1 mile, I'll do it. If
So
no one
this
sees me.
Thursday from 6 to 9, we're going to cover Robin's Laws of Good Game Mastering. So we're going to continue reading through that. We've been going through that. And then that following Monday, we'll probably finish that and then go on to whatever next theory thing. And then Thursday from, next week Thursday, we'll resume this, actually start the adventure. By then, characters should be about done, your equipment done, and we can actually start the adventure of you trying to break out.
Yeah.
And again, I've had entire parties wiped out in the beginning of the adventure. The first part is really brutal. After that, it's more of a survival thing.
Right.
But this first adventure is deadly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I have to do my equipment stuff because I wasn't too clear on
Yeah.
how
If you want, you can take that with you if you're going to be back.
this.
Your whole kit.
whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I've
just
got copies, so you can take that whole thing with you.
Where do you actually find the equipment though?
Go ahead and give them one of the copies of the equipment lists. There should be a summary list. Let's see.
I've got
There
the.
should be a summary equipment list and then a
there's
detailed one.
There's one. This one's
Yeah, give them
printed.
both a summary and the full. It should be taped. Yeah, give them that.
There you go.
So that's got a summary and then the details after, and that'll give you what you need.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And let me give you a errata because there's a few mistakes.
Yeah.
Let me make a photocopy of that.
I'm gonna try and save a good chunk of cash to pool with you guys.
Yeah.
That way we can.
And you guys can email each other
I'm just gonna try and keep the basics,
as I get your account set up and everything. You guys can all in Discord or email make your plans. You guys have a week and a half to plan
Yeah.
what you're going to do, which way you want to take.
Do
Here
you
it is.
think John will be back by then?
I would hope so.
I hope so.
We might have a captain that can tell us extra stuff.
Yeah,
That would be
he'll
nice.
have a lot better situational awareness.
That'll be very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I can give him, I've got some handouts, secret reports that I can give an officer.
Oh, that's cool.
So let me get you this errata sheet.
You want 2 copies?
I did 5.
Awesome.
33.
55?
The new standard.
Stop copying. Darn it. Computer didn't work. Stop. I'm wasting paper.
I'm gonna have.
All right, Riley, thanks for making it. So we'll see you Thursday? All right, have a good one.
Nice meeting you, Riley.
And, Thursdays we have different people show up sometimes too, so you might meet a different group. And
Very
at least
cool.
to meet John, I would assume,
Right.
and potentially others. I'm sad about Lillian.
Yeah.
I hope she gets well. All right, there you go, man.
Awesome.
That's 2. Yeah.
We start with our personal weapon, right?
Yeah, so did you get that checklist of what you start with?
I got most of it written when you were
Okay,
saying
no,
it. I might have just
yeah.
missed like the first 2. So I know that we got a helmet first aid
Um,
kit, 2 weeks.
Also, you're not an officer, right?
No.
So you also, whatever military you're in, you get to pick one rifle. You don't get to pick a pistol. You get to pick
Right.
one rifle for free with 2 clips of ammo and 1 case of ammo to go with it.
Yeah, okay, sweet. So
For
I'll go
whatever's
with
listed.
I'll go with the M16.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then I would highly recommend rifle grenades, and you might want to add a laser designator and an M203 grenade launcher if you want to make it just really beefed up.
That's, yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's-
much what
I went sniper rifle and personal assault rifle.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm probably going to be picking the laser rangefinder. So
Yeah, the laser designator is. You want the laser designator is more directly useful to combat. Close in combat, because it can add in short range. It can add plus 40 to your hit percentage.
So I attach it to the M cake.
Yeah, it's just that little laser dot. It's a dot. It's that dot, so it's really easy to shoot. Exactly. Makes it a lot easier.
Okay.
That's why it adds so much. It's really helpful in combat. Have a good one, Dan.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got a few people watching now. Sometimes later hours when everybody tunes in, and we're just wrapping up making characters for Twilight 2000, the classic role-playing game. And we're starting right from the beginning of adventure. If you want to get a copy of the game, it is available in print. You can get it on PDF through DriveThruRPG, or you can get it in print, surprisingly, at... Where'd that URL go? Of course, I misplaced it again. Too many web pages. Come on, where is it? I was talking about it earlier. Which browser did I have that on? But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to find I could get a hard copy. I might have to do that because my original's so beat up.
Yeah.
And it's $35. FFE Books, Twilight 2000. So farfuture.net. Farfuture.net. You can get Classic Traveler, Twilight 2000, 2300 AD, which is the sci-fi version of this game, and Dark Conspiracy are all available in print from that website, farfuture.net. But we're going to wrap it up for tonight. It was pretty much just making characters. Oh well. But now the characters are just about done, so when we resume this game next Thursday, it'll be the actual adventure. Now, coming this Thursday, so Thursday next week will be the campaign, but this Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m., we will discuss Robin's Laws of Good Game Mastering. It'll be like part 4 of our discussion on that. Tomorrow morning from 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time is our RPG research discussion, so if you want to tune in then, we will be discussing heavy research-related stuff with our research assistants from around the world, Saudi Arabia, and throughout the U.S., and so that's kind of our schedule. You can check out our schedule on rpgresearch.com and click on schedule. We're pretty much broadcasting about 5 or 6 times a week. Sundays we have our actual play Advanced Dungeons & Dragons First Edition, Heroes of the Mist, from 6 to 9 p.m. And we may be having some others ramping up soon as I get more volunteers on board who need to train and have different schedules. So again, Ryan, welcome. I hope you enjoyed, even though we're just making characters. I hope you enjoyed. You notice it's different than other games you're used to. It's an old way of doing things, and yet there's some value to it. It's interesting. When can I expect you to be here next?
So let's see, Thursday. I should be able to make Thursday.
Okay,
and
good.
then,
Because you want to get the Robin's Laws.
Yeah.
And if you can, watch the other videos if you can.
Yeah.
Or if you want to send me requests for those links, I'll send you.
I'll probably.
Because you'll want to catch up, because it covers a lot.
Right.
And I can't go back and review yet again because I keep reviewing.
You'll never get anywhere.
Yeah, and then as you get set up this week, you're going to have a bunch of videos you're going to be watching anyway. You have a lot of... It takes most people a couple of weeks to watch all the videos and read the material.
Right.
Some people who don't do as much, it can take them a month or more.
Sure.
Because it's a fair amount of material.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll bring you... so that everybody's at the same baseline, so I can make shorthand references very quickly.
Yeah.
But we'll get your email set up, we'll get your Discord set up, we'll get your back office set up, we'll get you access to that checklist of your new volunteer checklist. You'll get the packet of paperwork from Brooke in the next day or two. There's a lot. It's just the usual process.
Yeah.
So even though it's all volunteerism, it's just as much paperwork as being an employee.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks for joining us. I'm
yeah,
so glad you're here.
And I'll get so I have to get it mailed from Jersey because I think it's back in my parents.
Okay.
But I'll get the social security.
Okay, good. Appreciate that.
Awesome.
Thanks a
very
lot.
much.
You
Yeah.
bet. Have a good night.
You too.
And wherever you may be well, happy gaming, and namaste.